Hey, welcome to our next unit, weather. Today, we're going to start in our packet on episode 1 where it says weather. You notice that you have two different T-charts in that. So we have gather questions, our best answers, observations, and patterns. We're going to watch a video, and then I'm going to show you some different maps that deal with weather. While you're watching the video and while you're looking about different types of maps, make sure you're filling out both of these parts. So these are going to be questions that you have as you're watching the video or looking at the different maps. And then as we learn more and more, you're going to try and answer those questions. What is it you kind of find out? Here's going to be observations. We have lots of observations. So make sure on here you're filling out all the things that you're seeing. And then we're going to identify some patterns. So what are some connections we can make from what we're seeing happening and write down those patterns. So let's start off. A storm sometimes comes in with clouds that look like they are charging in. Hopefully you've seen this sometime. It's really cool where you can see the storm off in a horizon and you can see those dark kind of menacing clouds coming your way. And you can see it's kind of like this wall of clouds are coming. Weather occurs along boundaries of two air masses. Why does it look like a wall of air is coming in? And why does it come in on a slant? So you can see right here in this diagram, right? We can see that slant. So why is it coming in slanted? And why does it look like a wall of air? Let's watch a video on a storm. Again, fill out your packet with the questions and observations and patterns you're seeing. Right, look at that air mass. See how it's kind of rising, going up? You can see it coming in. Write down what are some things you notice and see. Here comes the storm.
Kind of want to get back to that other area. Okay, we gotta go.
right, so hopefully you wrote down lots of patterns you saw with all of those different storms, right? You could see kind of a wall of clouds moving in. You could see the clouds kind of coming in up higher, and then we have this dark lower space between these clouds. Lots of kind of cool things there to see when a storm coming in. All right, now we're going to look at some different weather maps. Every day for 6 days, you are going to need to record this information. Right now you're looking on Canvas. So how do you get to these different websites to find this information? So the first one we're going to go to is what's called Weather Underground. And you're going to click that link and it should take you to the website. I'm going to show you in just a minute. And then the second one is windy.com. And this will be blue, just like the one up here. I just need to attach the link real quick. So you're going to go to these two websites and you're going to record information. If you flip your packet over, you see episode 2. You see 4 different maps of the United States. And then on the next page, you see a graphing chart to write down some information. That's what you're going to do every day for 6 days. So I'm going to show you these 2 different maps and we're going to kind of talk about them today. So the first one, let's go to Weather Underground. All right, let's look at some Weather Underground and look at some different maps. So when you click to that link, you're going to get to a website that looks kind of like this one here on my screen. And you can zoom in and out by clicking these little plus and minus icons over here. Or on some computers, you can use it with your mouse by clicking and dragging. You can also move. So I'm clicking my mouse and dragging and I can look at different things. So we're going to focus on the United States. Now, over here on featured data, we are going to look at the radar, fronts, and wind stream. So first click that radar. And then notice down here, I need to hit play, and then that will show me the current radar. Here, let's see real quick. All right, so now, there we go, so now we can see the radar. So here, right, we see some green patches. Okay, what do you think those green patches are? What do you think those mean? Right, we have some blue. And what do you think the blue is? And then notice over here, it says past and future. So we're going to do past, just roll and leave it on that. And then you'll notice down here, okay, it shows us on Friday, January 29th, and it shows you the time. This is where we can pause. You can freeze it. So as you're drawing on your diagram tomorrow, you can pause it and freeze it, and then that will give you time to draw. So we see some green. And what do you think those green patches are? What do you think the blue indicates in that? Now let's go down here and now let's add some fronts to it. So now we see a whole bunch of lines. We see some purple lines, plain red ones with circles. We see blue triangles. Here, right, we see our blue triangles. We also see purple where we have a circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Look at this one. It's like they combined the blue and the red. The blue are all going one direction, and then the red is going the opposite direction, and they alternate. And then we have some L's and some H's. So this is what would be the front. I can remove the radar, and we can just look at the fronts. So that would be your front map. Now, let's look at wind. So this is going to show the wind, the direction the wind is going. What are some observations you notice about the wind? Let's add the fronts. Okay. And look at the direction of the wind, and then look at these fronts, kind of how that's going. So let's pause it for a second. All right, so look where we have, right? So we have these fronts, right? They're kind of going the same direction as the wind is going. But look at this right here. Watch this area. We have wind coming here and we have wind coming here. So we have the winds coming the opposite direction where we have these double ones. Here, right, again, we have some wind going this way. All right. So, writing down some questions, observations, and some pattern that we find. The last thing that we're going to kind of talk about and go over today is with the windy.com app. So here's the windy.com app. Let me zoom out. I kind of already. So the wind, right? This is showing us just kind of like the other map. It's showing us all the wind direction. Notice you see a little key over here as well. And the key over here, you can click and see different things. The one thing that this has is temperature, where the other map didn't have the temperature indicated. Oops, sorry, I zoomed in way too far. There we go. And here we can see where the temperatures are. Again, here's the wind, the direction the wind is going. So for tomorrow, you're going to need all of these to fill out that information. But what do we try and find some connections between what do you notice about temperature and our fronts? So let's kind of look at Utah. So Utah here, right? Utah down Arizona. Okay, we have a blue and then a purple type of front. Let's see what some temperatures are. So let's look at Utah. Okay, here down to Arizona. Those temperatures. And then let's look here. So what state? So between Oklahoma and Nebraska, right here we have this, just to the right of Colorado, we have this red line. So let's go right here. So that's Kansas, right? So Kansas here. Okay, what do we have there? So a red line there. So we're going to be looking at these maps every day. Now, on the next page, it says, describe the relationship between fronts and weather. So let's go back to this weather map here. So we have fronts, okay? Is there a relationship between these fronts, between the wind and weather? Let's turn on our weather. So let's look right here. Okay, so this is precipitation, is what these green and blue. Blue is going to be snow. Green is going to be precipitation. So notice, right, along here, the blue, right, and this purple, right, we have some precipitation, rain. Okay, here we have some rain and precipitation just before purple. Here where we have red, right, we have no precipitation, no rain. We have some here behind the red. And these are some patterns and things we're going to want to look out throughout the week. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.